Okay, I'm back. I made my coffee. I'm ready to go. I have my, oops, I'm just going to try and see if I can lift this up a little, move it over to the side so you can see a little better. Let's see how that works. It's going to stay for me. Looks like it will. I've got my machine set on free motion settings. And the first thing I'm going to do is just start to go around the edges of some of these, especially ones that are starting to lift. I am going to have my gloves on when I can find them. Yep, there they are, because I need them on when I sew with free motion quilting. I cannot do it without them. The tendonitis that I get, torn tendons, is horrific. So with these, I get very little amount of strain. Now, I have put up a post of the colour selection. Oops, the days, there it is there. You can see when I put this up on YouTube, I'll put the colour numbers up so you can see what they are that I'm using. But this should give you quite a good indication of what I do. My first step is to actually stitch around the outside of these pieces. And then I can sort of work out where I'm going from there. When I'm auditioning any threads, I always open it out. So even though I might have it like that, when I look at it, it's a bit brown, but when I put it down, it looks fine. Okay, so then I can see I have Deco Bob in my bobbin, and I've got to put my glasses on too, or I won't be able to see a bleeding thing. Okay, I'll just grab my little scissors. I need those babies. So when you're on, say hello. Let me know you're here. If you've got questions or anything that I'm using that I haven't mentioned yet, that you want to know about, so that you're aware of what I'm using or doing. I just pulled that out of its little hidey hole. I'll put the foot down, that might help. There we go. You can see what I'm doing now. Oops a days. That thread in there. Sorry, my hand's in the way. Just trying to thread my machine. There we go. Alrighty. So I can see, like I said, this is sitting upright. I'm going to lift up my foot a little, just so I don't catch anything. I'm going to move it so I haven't got it hitting the bed of the machine. And it does need to come up a fraction more. Fingers crossed it'll play nice. And needle down, needle up, and down again. So bad penny back again. What tension number do I have my Janome on? I have it on 6. Eileen, Deco Bob on bobbin. What is it? What is it? Have a great day. Oh, okay. Maureen, Deco Bob is a pre-wound bobbin. Okay, just like that, already wound for me, perfect tension, and there's about 400 meters per reel. It is bobbin. It is also an 80 weight, so it's very light, and it doesn't cause a huge amount of build up on the back. Okay. You can buy those at about $45 a pack of 36. So I'm going to try and keep my hand out of the way. And I'm just going around this edge of this fabric and making sure that my threads are trimmed. I think that camera might be in the wrong spot. So I'll move it back over here and there for you. Hopefully she's good now. And touch the start button. I use a stop start button for those who don't know. And what that means is I don't have a foot pedal on my machine. I literally use this machine stop start button so that I'm not thinking about that extra motor skill. The less I have to think about when I'm doing this, the better. So sometimes I stop and feel the fabric because I want to see if there's a join As you can probably guess, I haven't got my eyeballs on yet because I'm feeling for things instead of looking. Oh, look at that, everything's so much brighter now. Alright, back down here. And I just go tap, tap, tap along the edge. I don't freak out if I go off the line or anything like that. I just want to get those edges down just to reduce, and I can go back and forth, don't be frightened too, just fill it in. Just to reduce any fraying. This fabric here is actually not a batik, it's a hand dye, so it tends to fray easier. You have such a great choice of threads, etc. Than what we can get over the ditch. Yeah, I know, it's sad because it's such brilliant. Do you know what? I'm pretty sure that you can get Wonderfil in New Zealand. If not, I can always send them over to you, my love. I'm happy to do that as well. So I will put one colour in and start with that one colour and stitch down all that belong to that one colour. If you notice, I always have, if I can, with free motion quilting, I have my needle to the left, oops, I did the wrong button, to the left-hand side, okay? Talking to a tech one time, he actually mentioned to me that it is better for the machine. Just a bit of advice. So I'm going to come along here, and I can see there's a bit of a gap there, but you know what? You know, blind man would love to see that. So I'm going to turn it this way, come off the edge, just get my thread over the foot so it buries. And you can see, you'll notice that as I'm sewing this, because I've got that really nice thick bag batting on the back of this, it's not going to fray and pull and carry on and bring it in and do all those nasties. And being an art piece, or you can put it in a bag if you wanted to. It's no right or wrong with it. Being an art piece though, I'm sort of more inclined to use that bag batting if I can. Anything that I feel is going to really pull, I'm just going to stitch that down. If I find that I've got a gap, I will stitch back and forth and fill it in. And that's that little one there done. I'll cut off. Fingers crossed it cuts each time. Then I'll come over to the next dark piece. And the foot down and bury that thread. She's definitely going to carry on because it's so thick. Now I realise that my daughter has an appointment at 2:10 in town with the ortho, so I am going to I've changed the time for the next workshop at 4 o'clock, just to give me time to go and do that appointment. Now I can carry on over here. I can see I've got some darker fabric in here and around here, and see how that one's lifting up. I'm going to come from the other direction. And you can notice I'm not going 100 miles an hour. Okay, all the way up there. Those little threads, I'm just going to stitch them in. They're not going to give me a hard time. You watch. Back and forth. Stitch them in. Make them look like they're meant to be there. Come down here. Back and forth. I could probably up the speed a fraction. I'm just going to turn this around without knocking the camera out so I can see where I'm going. But, I think that that's plenty just for this part. Coming down to this little one that's flipped up. So I'm going to come from behind it. Ah, this is a straight stitch, my love. Yes, Donna, absolutely straight stitch at the moment. I don't need a zigzag yet, and might not even need one. So see, I'm just grabbing the edge of that. I'm just going to stitch it down, just in the edge, and stop and cut off. And I'm thinking I'm going to stitch these babies down as well with this colour. I can just travel over to the next one. Just to get to the... That's all right, Johnny, you'll see that. Also, I'll have it on YouTube before the end of the week's out, with details of everything that I've used. Over here, I need to do that sort of funky colour there. I feel it's got a bit of a knot going on. Oh, there we go. Just got through it. And I can feel it when I'm sewing, so I'm just going to have a quick check on the back of it there, making sure it didn't make any nasties. No, it didn't. Just got this massive long thread now. It's got a bit of a crease in it, but I think I'll be able to cheat a little. Just lift it up a bit and just grab the edge of it just to help hold it down. Nothing major. I'm not going right over the white or anything like that. I can just go in the edge of that, like right around, stitch in there, just gentle. Don't go a million miles around, you know, really, really fast. But in saying that, don't go too slow that you end up with these massive stitches or high stellar or really tiny stitches. You want to sort of have an average size stitch just to start with. Just cut that off, and I'll come around here. I need to go this way just so I don't knock the camera. And just one hand under, and I'm literally just moving it with 2 fingers on the right hand side, and on the left hand I've got my hand nice and flat and relaxed. I can just travel over to the next one because there's lots of dark fabrics and that going on over here. Thread here I need to trim off. It didn't come off before. And this way. Make sure it's above the foot. Oh, it's something I'm going to have to take this machine in for a service. Needs the thread cutter looked at. And I can see a thread there. It's going to annoy me. I'm sewing by the colour at the moment, so I've got one colour in, and I've chosen that one colour, and then I'm going around all those fabrics that are relevant to that one colour. So just to hold them down, this is the first process, is I just want to hold them down and keep them in place so that when I do work on them, that they don't lift up and stuff. Just one side of that And the other side I'm going to do in the blue. And I think I've got all those. I've just got to go and do some of these funky long ones. And like I said, if you need to travel and you know that it doesn't matter because you're going to end up doing darker threads and that over there anyway, then just travel. Oops, guys. So this is a long process. This does not take 5 minutes. It's quite a bit of time. Colour choice is the hard part, and then after that you're just sort of getting them down and in one spot. And well, this is how I do it anyway. And then after that you're going to do a bit of detail, you know, like I might not do a huge amount of detail in the body side of it, but I will put detail in the eye and all that sort of thing. So you just sort of start with the basics. Oh, I heard that didn't, alright, yeah. And you might only need, some of these might only need just a couple of stitches in it just to hold them down. Sometimes I'll do 2 rows of them, sometimes I'll do 1. There's no right and wrong with this, and that's the beauty of it. It's grabbing underneath, it doesn't like it much. As I do the cut off, it grabs. It's obviously there's something wrong with the blade. And you can see the, oops, the daisy, it frightened me. You can see the foot starting to lift because as I'm stitching, it's pushing it down. So I can drop the foot a little bit with this foot. Oops, the daisy, the jump. And that will help as well. The higher the foot off the fabric, the more chance you have of it missing stitches and carrying on. That one. I can see, is that, yes it is. And I see how I've got a little bit of paper there. You watch when I stitch that, it's going to go away. Especially when I start doing any kind of work on it. As soon as I start stitching, I can colour it in just with thread and it disappears. Just going to come around here, follow that line there, and stitch that around here, and stop. And just keep an eye on this. I'm going to come in and do this one as well, I think. Yeah, I think I will. So this is not a black, it's like a gunmetal grey. Okay. I think I've pretty much done that colour to death. My next colour, I just go along the line of threads I've got. My next colour is going to be, I'll probably do the darker brown. So that's this one. Okay, that's the colour number. And I'm going to use, that's going to match in nicely. And it's an Egyptian cotton as well, so it's a really nice feel. Sorry, I'm going to have my fat hands in the way. And I can't see. Okay. Okay. So we've got about 5-10 minutes. And let's do the brown. All right. Put down, needle down. Get it out of the way. And let's do the brown. So I literally haven't changed anything other than the thread colour. Backwards now, so she'll probably crack it at me. She doesn't like going backwards sometimes, so free motioning. If I keep her steady, she might be happy with me. And I'll just stick there. At least you can still hand thread the needle without issues. Yes, exactly. That is my thread. That is the gloves. And I've got my glasses on, Debs. That normally helps. All right, I'm just going to come up from this way. You can hear my daughter getting stuff ready. So we're going to end up tuning off in a minute. And just come up this way here. Yep. So I've got a few more minutes, and then I'm going to oh, I've got to go. Yeah, me too, Suzanne, sorry. We've got to get on to got to take her to the orthodontist. So I'll just do a couple of little pieces here, and then I'm literally going to log off, and I'll see you guys about 4 o'clock, because it'll take me that long to get in and out of town and fluff around. Okay, there's one piece, and because it's all brown, I can just travel. So I'm going to travel around the edge of it as well, and then up the other side. And then David said she's made a horse. I can see that. Yes, I have. You can see it now. Taken shape, hasn't it? Just around here. And like I say, don't be too frightened if you go over your black part, or you go over, you know, into the white. Who cares? Like, just relax and go with the flow. I can see that white's got a bit of rot on it from glue, I'm presuming. I'm actually going to stitch the edge of that down because it's too wide. Go down a little. There we go. And you know, it's no biggie. Just enjoy the process. It's nice and relaxing. And this is a great way to learn your free motion quilting skills without doing an actual pattern as such, and just learning to use and move your machine and your fabric, I should say, in different directions without piecing. All right. Thinks I'm so glad he loves your laugh. Oh, does he? It's very evil, Stella, I've been told. Oh dear. All right, just this little piece here. I can see it's lifted. Depends how I laugh. I do have an evil laugh. It's come unthreaded, I think. That would be my cue. Yeah, it has. So that's my cue. If it's come unthreaded or done it, that's it for me for right now. We will see you when I come back. Thank you, Jennifer. Appreciate that. And there it is there under the machine, because it's starting to be sewn down in bits and pieces. And I will see you guys at 4 o'clock, and let's see if we can get this other quilt done. That will be 2 projects in one weekend, finished, plus a bag, plus. Happy girl. See you soon. Bye.